obviously we were both planning to go to the Consumer Electronics Show, but everything going on, we decided not to. So just like last year, we're going back to virtual interviews. So first off, I guess tell me about RingPin and like I guess the history about the company and yourself.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, first of all, and secondly, RingPin. It's been a platform that my good friend and I have been working on for pretty much since the start of the pandemic. And what we wanted to do is bring digital tools to the physical world. And we've been thinking about that for a long time, but we never thought it was really viable until the pandemic came around. And customers changed the way that they shopped and that they interact with other people in stores. And finally, actually in the United States, started scanning QR codes so you could take from the physical world to a digital experience. So we saw this opportunity and we saw kind of the change happening. First it started with menus in restaurants where people started scanning QR codes, but then it's proliferated to, everyday life. So really what we do is we help people connect with people in the real world. And, we're starting with retail to help them, obviously sell more and connect with their customers, but it can work in a lot of different industries. And so we're just trying to bring the best of the online world to make the real world better.
Very interesting. So, I mean, how many different industries are you talking about, I guess,
That was, to be frank, that was the hardest part when we started, because we're like, oh, this works great for automotive. This works great for real estate. This works great for hospitality. But we couldn't, boil the whole ocean at once. So we picked retail because we saw a big need there. And we saw a lot of stores implementing QR codes. And it was really easy to go on like packaging and products like this. So someone could, buy, finish it, and then like, oh, that was good, I want to buy it again, and then scan the QR code and instantly buy that same beverage and have it show up at their house. So retail just made a ton of sense. And e-com people, they send something to somebody, they never had someone in their store, so they never had that type of interaction. Now they can add a QR code to their packaging or the packing slip or whatever and have an actual interaction with that customer. So we're just trying to make better relationships between the brands and the customers and make it easier for the customers to do everything they want to do.
Well, cool. You also had a thing I saw in the email that you can scan yourself and put yourself virtually at Vegas and CES. Talk about that.
Yeah. We, basically it was kind of the same thing that you were talking about before we started recording, is that we were planning to go to Vegas even up until this week. We were making a game time decision. There was a lot of different factors in play, and at the last minute, we decided it just wasn't worth it for us to go out there. So, we still wanted to accomplish something, and instead of, just moping around about it, we decided to put together a fun little app and take advantage of our technology to, make something fun. And we felt like there was going to be a lot of people in our position that wanted to be in CES and couldn't go there. So we did this little thing that, kind of showed off our technology, but also let people, like you said, take a selfie and remove the background and put it in CES, or put CES stickers on their photos and stuff like that. I thought some people probably told their bosses they were going and took the time off work, and maybe they needed, a little alibi or something like that. So it would be fun for that. But it's a real fun little thing. And actually, it's a cool use case now that we're going to roll out to brands also. We just put together for an alcohol brand last night, where basically you can take their bottle and you can put it into the picture, and you can put yourself on the beach drinking their alcohol and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different use cases. And what's cool is these are little mini app clips. I don't know if you were able to use it, but it's not a full app that you need to download from the App Store. It just stays on your phone for a short amount of time, but it has most of the functionality of a regular app. So you can send a push notification after the person's interacted with it. You can do all sorts of things. So it really unlocks this cool functionality and easy for the customers to use. So we're super excited. And the CES thing was kind of just like a test use case to see, how we could purpose this technology. And, we're thinking about doing it for NRF in New York next week. And, you could do it for the Super Bowl. You could do it for Disneyland. You said you're a big Disney guy. So
absolutely. Yeah.
That one I was thinking
cool.
about
It looks so real too. When I first glanced at it, I thought like it was really there. And like sometimes you can really tell when it's like fake, but I was really impressed.
The devs have this, I don't even know how they do it, but they have this crazy technology that really does a good job removing the background. And that's what makes it seem so smooth. So it can take any photo, really, instantly just insert yourself in there. And I don't know how they pulled it off, but I think it's really cool too.
Very, very awesome. So website, social media wise, where people can get more information, stay up to date, or maybe get in contact with you if they want to work with you, you know?
Yeah, I have my own RingPin page also. There's a million John Stearns, so it could be tricky, but it's ringp.in/JON. And that way on that page, it shows off what we can do. Also, there's interactive video. They can text me directly from the page. They can book a meeting. So, and I have a QR code also. Some people put it on business cards. So it's just another way to make it easy for people to interact, and a good example of our software also. So, if you just Google, or john@ringpin.com is the email as well.
Very cool. Well, thanks for taking your time to talk to me, and then maybe one day we'll meet in person at some event.
I wouldn't be surprised if we do. I really enjoyed meeting you and appreciated the conversation also.